A very good evening to you all. Thank you for joining us for the 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark. I'll shortly be joined by Mugalu Mohammed on Sign Language. Without further ado, let's take a look at tonight's top stories and then get straight into it.
Headlines are brought to you by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Keep your information up to date with your regulated financial institution. Customer deposits are protected up to 10 million Ugandan shillings. Terms and conditions apply.
Kabaka birthday run at Lubiri, Kampala attracts thousands to support HIV/AIDS awareness. A section of MPs at the Chankwanzi NRM retreat propose an annual retreat to unlock their potential. Uganda to commission the East African crude oil pipeline in July this year. In Uganda, Gymnastics Federation launches a gymnastics club at Luzira Prison to support training and talent development.
Brought to you by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Keep your information up to date with your regulated financial institution. Customer deposits are protected up to 10 million Ugandan shillings. Terms and conditions apply.
Once again, good evening. We now give you the news in detail. The 2026 Kabaka birthday run took place at Lubiri in Kampala, attracting thousands of participants in Kampala in support of HIV/AIDS awareness. Crowds gathered at Lubiri as early as midday, with major roads around the area filled with runners and supporters ahead of this momentous event.
Excitement built up as participants waited for the arrival of the Kabaka. Katikiro Charles Peter Maiga arrived first, followed shortly by the Kabaka, who was warmly received amid loud cheers from the crowd. The Kabaka greeted officials, ministers, and invited guests, and later took time to interact with participants and take photographs. He later flagged off the run, which included 21-kilometer, 10-kilometer, and 5-kilometer categories. In his remarks, Charles Peter Maiga reminded participants of the importance of the run in promoting HIV/AIDS awareness.
Kabaka's birthday is not merely personal to him. It is directly relevant to all of us who subscribe to the heritage of the Kingdom of Uganda. And the Kabaka wants us to use his birthday as a platform to promote good health. This time round, like the last 7 years, we've been fighting HIV/AIDS, especially the men who should be the vanguards in the fight against HIV/AIDS. We encourage testing, we encourage taking medication, we encourage abstinence, especially for the young and married people.
He also urged unity among the people and warned against attempts to divide the kingdom or weaken Buganda's cultural values. Dignitaries, including foreign diplomats and corporate leaders, praised the Kabaka for his efforts in fighting HIV/AIDS and promoting health awareness.
On behalf of Airtel Uganda, I want to wish Kabaka a very happy birthday. Enjoy the run and finish strong. Thank you. Ka nibase Kabaka wabwa Kabaka bwa Buganda. Okutendeka na elisinde gino. Kibale kitibwa jendi okwetabamu emirundi etano kati.
Medical teams from Kampala Hospital provided emergency support to participants during the run.
The team is available. We are helping with first aid, but more importantly, in our fight against HIV, as a man, I'm also taking up the mantle to make sure that I come out to fight alongside the Kabaka and HIV by 2030.
Organizers and participants say the event continues to promote fitness, unity, and the fight against HIV/AIDS across Uganda.
We are very grateful to the Kabaka of Uganda and the Kingdom of Uganda for giving us this platform to remind men to join us in fighting HIV/AIDS. We are very grateful. We'll continue to do this. and to keep the conversations going.
I want to thank Kabaka for also coming through to support this initiative and see this cause to champion the fight of HIV in Uganda.
My message to my fellow Ugandans, let's fight AIDS. By year 2030,
I've come here to Lubiri to join Kabaka in celebrating his 71 years of age and to fight HIV.
I want to encourage all the people out there, please participate. This is a purpose-driven run. It is promoting unity, culture and diversity.
Relatedly, I and Bank Uganda, who are the official bank partners, reiterated commitment to supporting impactful initiatives, especially those geared towards building healthier and more resistant communities. The bank vows to leverage on its 4 corporate social responsibility pillars of enabling and giving economic empowerment, education, skills development, and environmental conservation.
A section of members of parliament attending the NRM leaders' retreat at Chankwanzi have proposed to the party for at least once a year that this retreat should be happening, defending the move as one which will unlock their potential and capabilities in terms of leadership and service delivery. The retreat is on its 6th evening, with the party chairman Yoweri Kaguta Museveni leading at the front.
The NRM Leaders Retreat at Chankwanzi has entered its 65th day, with the Sunday 12 April 2026 session kicking off with a prayer service.
Today is Sunday. We have just completed Mass and ecumenical service, where we had all faith being represented and praying together. The offertory, which was collected by the members, which was about 3.2 million shillings, has been handed over to the institution so that it is a contribution to the community school that was started by the institution of Chankwanzi.
The retreat has brought together the 3 top organs of the party and, most importantly, key government technocrats attending as facilitators.
We've had various submissions from different ministries, departments and agencies, and all this is being welcomed very well by the members of parliament. So we believe, by and large, we are registering tremendous success and we are realizing the core objectives of this retreat, and that is not only to orient but to align the thinking and planning of our members.
Participants, including senior party leaders, acknowledge the significance of such groupings,
so that we can see where we shall be in our vision 2040. Okay, because now, like yesterday, now we are able to know where we shall be after 14 years from now. 2040, we shall be like United Arab Emirates.
It's exciting, it's amazing. Every day is a different day, it's a learning day, and every day we are like adding on to the knowledge and the commitment to the party. So my first experience, first of all, that when we got here, we got to know each other. We get so the networking, the teamwork, and knowing the leaders we are going to work with is very good.
The retreat also spared time off for physical education, according to the Director for Information and Communication, Emmanuel Dombo.
The members are involved in physical exercises in order to improve their physical health. But also, it has been brought their attention that if we invest in physical exercises and better health, we shall reduce on the cost of drugs, we shall prolong the lives of Ugandans, and this is a whole item under the development plan on how we are going to achieve.
The NRM National Party Treasurer, Barbara Nekesa, says it is critical to have leaders in one pool.
That because to hold this retreat, it has been a 3-pronged approach. We have the NRM Secretariat, we have the NALI administration, and we also have that of the media and the other service providers. So all these parties are doing everything possible to ensure that our trip to Ngoma and back is a success, and that shall be happening on Tuesday.
Both senior and party leaders, who include President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the Vice President retired Major Jessica Alupo, the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja, and a section of ministers, are still all camped at Nali.
We are different now. I can also testify that I'm not the same way I came. I'm so full of the ideology. I can fight for NRM. I can talk for NRM wherever I am, out of my sleep.
And their request is that as a party, I think we should have annual retreats of this nature. They will not only help us to entrench our policies as a party to better understand what we intend to do for the Ananchi, but it will also be a way of us now coming back to assess our performance as government and as a party in power.
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
That will mark the...
Furthermore, the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, has called upon African leaders to fast-track the challenges of urbanization, noting that the realities should be dealt with decisively, mainly in an era where village-to-town migrations are at their peak. Ruto has been speaking at a three-day African Urban Development Forum, which has concluded in Nairobi, Kenya, with over 40 countries attending.
The 3-day African Urban Development Forum has concluded in Nairobi, Kenya, with the President of Kenya, His Excellency William Ruto, gracing the opening ceremony held on 8th April 2026.
Welcome colleagues and friends from across our continent to Kenya.
This has been running under the theme Adequate Housing for All, Advancing Socioeconomic and Environmental Transformation towards the realization of Agenda 2063.
Affordable housing will happen if you have the ultimate political leadership. Yep. It cannot be done at the ministry. Yeah. It cannot be done at another level. It has to take the political leadership at the highest level to drive it.
Uganda's Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Judith Nabakoba, has attended the Nairobi meeting.
Adequate housing has the power to drive economic growth, foster resilience, but also improve the quality of life for millions of our people in Africa.
Nabakoba is also the current chairperson of the African Union Specialized Technical Committee on Public Service, Local Government, Urban Development and Decentralization.
Indeed, Africa faces a critical housing challenge as its population grows rapidly, projected to reach 2.5 billion by 2050. With urbanization accelerating, the urban population is expected to double to 1.3 billion by mid-century. Yet the continent already faces a housing deficit of 60 million housing units. If this gap continues to grow, it could reach even 100 million units by 2030, worsening slums, increasing social inequalities, and hindering economic growth of our people.
This is the second forum of its kind on the continent, which many says has more challenges to tackle, particularly those arising from the urbanization and increasing population.
We are building on the undertakings made in the first Africa Urban Forum, particularly our shared commitments to strengthen political leadership for the sustainable urbanization.
Africa is the world's fastest urbanizing region, with cities growing at an average annual rate of 3.5%.
African Urban Forum, premiered in Ethiopia in 2024, has already positioned itself as an important and influential platform for advancing dialogue and cooperation on sustainable urban development across the continent.
The summit also conducted high-level sessions on immigration and urban development.
The rapid expansion of informal settlements, overstretched public services and infrastructure, increasing air pollution, and growing exposure to climate-related risks. These challenges are compounded by constrained physical space, limited access to long-term and innovative financing.
Housing is such an important topic for any government because the world is urbanizing. You've just given us the statistics. We have 700 million people today in our continent living in urban settlements.
At the end of the day, every speaker expressed need to double effort in as far as bridging the urbanization gap, noting that consequences are long-term and costly.
The International Peace Support Operations Training Center in Singo, Nakaseke District has today hosted a delegation from the U.S. Army War College. The visit is part of the delegation's study tour aimed to foster professional exchange and enhance cooperation in peace support operations. Commandant Colonel Moses Nabasa welcomed the delegation, highlighting the center's critical role in preparing military personnel for complex peace support missions. She said the center is committed to excellence, regional stability, and international collaboration. Chief Instructor Colonel David Watasa delivered a brief on the center's training program and operations in Somalia. The head of the U.S. Army War College team, Colonel Ronald Miller, commended IPSO TC for the contribution to global peacekeeping efforts. As a token of appreciation, Colonel Nabasa presented a commemorative gift to Colonel Miller, strengthening ties between the two institutions. The visit underscored collaboration between IPSO TC and the U.S. Army War College in promoting peace and security. And in more news, the Uganda People's Defence Forces has commended Masindi Army School Secondary School for its strong performance in the 2025 national examinations. The school ranked second in Masindi district in both UCE and UACE.
The message was delivered by Richard Karemire on behalf of Muhoozi Kainerugaba, reaffirming UPDF's commitment to supporting education. Daniel Kakono, who chairs the school's board, praised the students and urged them to remain focused. UPDF says its education institutions have now expanded to 53 schools across the country, benefiting both soldiers, children, and surrounding communities.
Through a strategic partnership, beg your pardon, through a strategic partnership between Buganda Kingdom and Uganda Bati, efforts to combat HIV/AIDS are being strengthened across communities. This collaboration focuses on raising awareness, promoting prevention, and improving access to health information services, and particularly for vulnerable populations. The initiative targets enhancing community mobilization, encouraging responsible health practices, and contributing to the fight against HIV/AIDS.
HIV/AIDS remain a prevailing public health concern in Uganda, with experts warning of persistently high rates of infections, especially among younger women, driven by ongoing social and economic vulnerabilities. In response to these challenges, Uganda Bati has intensified its call for greater HIV awareness and inclusive health support, urging equal attention to boys and girls as the country works towards ending HIV/AIDS by 2030.
Men and women, children, the youth, and everybody. These days, you find that they don't even fear, to contract HIV. They assume that there is a way out, in a way. And actually, you find that women fear pregnancy more than HIV, which is a very, very dangerous situation.
Head of External and Corporate Affairs, Jackie Katahanzibwa, emphasized that while protecting the girl child remains critical, the boy child must not be overlooked. She noted that both groups need guidance, awareness, and access to health services to make informed decisions.
This run is especially important that the girl child is being protected, but again, even the boy child needs to be looked at. So the message for us is, let us create awareness about HIV. Let us ensure that the spread is limited or is stopped.
The company is extending essential health care services to its employees and surrounding communities, improving access to HIV testing, treatment, and health education.
We have communities coming from Namuongo and the surrounding areas who get, involved or get support from our clinics. So we are very, very deliberate about bringing health services closer to the people.
These efforts are aligned with national HIV/AIDS campaigns and are further reinforced through Uganda Bati's support of the Kabaka's Birthday Run, a key platform for community mobilization and awareness.
So the intention of this is still to contribute on health initiatives of Ugandans, but purposively to see how we can address HIV, which has become a very big problem in the country and the world at large.
This year's theme highlights the role of men in protecting the girl child, calling for collective responsibility in the fight against HIV/AIDS.
Uganda Bat, we come through to encourage men to take the forefront of ensuring that women are protected. If a man advises a woman to test, then definitely it will be very easy.
Health experts continue to stress that without inclusive and sustained interventions targeting both young men and women, Uganda risks growing progress towards its goal of ending HIV/AIDS by 2030.
In our UBC News tonight, Uganda's tenfold growth strategy heavily depends on the development of science, technology and industrial sectors as the country targets a $500 billion US dollar economy by 2040. This ambition is pushing science teachers to enhance their competence in teaching STEM subjects in a bid to produce the skilled workforce needed to realize Uganda's economic growth.
Yes, there are many ways to do this.
Stakeholders of the Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union are strengthening expertise in robotics, which is a key component of science, technology and mathematics. In 2023, the government of Uganda enhanced salaries for science teachers, a move that is also prompting private schools to raise standards and improve the quality of STEM education.
The teachers being well facilitated or their welfare being catered for properly, these teachers have become more committed to their jobs, and the science teachers are the mothers of the science professions. The moment these teachers concentrate and raise well-mentored learners, I'm very sure the government will be the first beneficiary into this.
If Uganda's economy is to make a significant leap, greater emphasis must be placed on innovation rather than duplication.
I like the word that you use, leap, because there's this phrase called leapfrogging, and they use it if a society or a group basically does not take the same steps as somebody else who's more advanced, because that causes path dependence. So if you develop something, it's always based on what you had before and before. So you're also quite limited by what you have experienced. So in the global south, the advantage that you have is that you can jump above all these previous steps and create something that is not dependent on them.
Contrary to popular belief, teaching STEM, particularly robotics, is accessible even in school settings, but a shift in mindset is required.
There's this mindset that robotics is hard, robotics is technical, robotics is expensive. So those are the mindsets that it's not that. We start with what we have and continue building to prove that it's not that hard, and also it's not too technical, and also it's not that expensive. So once we change that mindset, it's easier now to transform the way we do our things and to really have a perspective that we can be able to really work with what we have.
A team from the World Robotics Olympiad, a global competition for children, hosted by Mindset Coders, is in Uganda to train teachers and stakeholders on effective robotics instruction. The initiative builds capacity, improves knowledge transfer, and generates widespread momentum for the education sector. Wadulo, Arnold for UBC News. An international network of lawyers is expanding its footprint into East Africa, with Kenya positioned at the center of its regional strategy. Let's have a look.
Interlaw, a UK-based international caucus of lawyers, has launched its services in East Africa with the signing of a long-term partnership agreement with BM Musau and Company Advocates in Kenya.
By supporting local firms with global resources and collaboration, legal services can become more accessible and cost-effective. These benefits can then in turn be passed on to our partner firms' clients. Interlaw encourages inclusivity and greater access to legal services in several ways. One example is our affinity groups, including next-generation lawyers, with focuses on developing the skills needed to lead the law firms of tomorrow.
The deal is expected to unlock major opportunities for private legal practitioners in Kenya, including capacity building, specialized training programs in the United Kingdom, and improved access to cross-border legal services and funding.
We expect that the collaboration between Kenya and the Interlaw network of firms, which spreads across the top economies in the world, will assist not only in capacity building within our firm, but also in the economic growth of Kenya as a country. It will bring this country into a much more international economic investment feasibility.
Speaking after the signing ceremony in Nairobi, Interlaw Chairman Michael Panson revealed that the organization is also in advanced stages of exploring investment opportunities in Kenya.
Areas of collaboration are corporate and M&A, infrastructure, energy, agribusiness, IT, financial services, and probably dispute resolution. The long-term vision is to build sustainable partnerships that allow partner firms to participate in more complex regional and international mandates.
He described Kenya as a strategic gateway to the East African region, highlighting its growing legal and business landscape.
Law continues to...
So in a nutshell, the visit is about turning Interlaw's existing strong relationships in Kenya into real structured collaboration, positioning the country as a gateway for legal and commercial activity across East Africa.
Interlaw boasts a global network of more than 8,000 practicing lawyers. The organization focuses on enhancing access to justice worldwide, with a stronger emphasis on supporting local law firms through funding and skills development initiatives. I'm Moevan Juko, reporting for UBC in Kenya.
And in more UBC news tonight, Uganda is set to commission the East African crude oil pipeline in July this year. The Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabira, says that the commission of the pipeline will enable Uganda's crude oil to be loaded onto the vessels in October for export. Nankabira was speaking, addressing the newly elected NRM members of parliament during the ongoing retreat in Chankwanzi.
First of all, I want to clarify that the oil that we are expecting to flow this year is the crude oil, not finished products, please. Finished products will come when the refinery is in place. But the crude oil is expected to flow out this year, beginning with the technical commissioning of the East African crude oil pipeline on 31st July. And I went through the pipeline and I witnessed the progress, and I am hopeful that come July the pipeline will be done and we shall technically commission it. And it takes time to fill this pipeline from Hoima Pump Station 1 to Chonglien. The crude moves. It is a thick crude, wax, which has to be heated. So you don't switch on a pump in Hoima and you expect oil to flow at Chonglien the following day. It takes some days to move from Hoima up to the last point at the jetty where loading on the vessels is done. So we expect the first loading of the first vessel to be done in October, 30th October this year. We hope that nothing will interrupt our program, but according to what is happening, I've been assured by those who are on the ground implementing that we shall be able to achieve this. So in as far as the crude oil is concerned, that is it. The crude will be exported and government will be getting money from the transportation of this crude and also from the crude itself, because we are part owners of the crude together with Total and Sinok and UNOC. It's at 89% completed. We are now seeing fixing and welding of pipes in difficult areas where we need to go down vertical and horizontal, those specific areas. Otherwise, the other areas we've started barring the pipes, and we hope that we will be okay by the said dates.
When you don't use Momo, you are forced to quarrel.
Mama, kabalansi? Nkuwaire 15 Mama, nkuwaire 15.
Ompaire 15.
Abantu abakulu mwatandisa obuyayi mwena.
Obuyayi obuliga.
Iwe.
Ngobi yanko
bachokola sente dange ninzade kolera ngobi nakolera sente dange.
Save yourself from quarreling. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
It's back, bigger, and with more business opportunities. It's the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo, Poate 2026, Uganda's flagship tourism event. Poate 2026 will take place from the 21st to the 23rd of May 2026 at the Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo, under the theme Wanderlust. It's your time to thrive. Yes, it's your time to tap into Uganda's renewed optimism and tourism growth. Tourism stakeholders, travel trade partners, and tourism enthusiasts will be part of the Poate 2026. Come and network with like-minded people and unlock new business opportunities. To participate, register at www.poate.co.ug. Poate 2026 is brought to you by Uganda Tourism Board and partners.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution, or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone, or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312-206-400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
Step into elegance, step into confidence, step into La Vie Boutique. Located at Grand Imperial Hotel, Shop 6 and 8, right behind Bank of Uganda, La Vie Boutique brings you high-class corporate and casual wear for men. From sharp designer suits and crisp shirts to stylish casual t-shirts, tracksuits, shoes and accessories, we've got everything to make you stand out. Call us on 0772 419 181 or 0705 555 558. La Vie Boutique, where class meets style.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. The Archbishop of Kampala, Paul Semogerere, has called for a commitment to nurture impact in society. He was at Makerere University at St. Augustine Catholic Community Church as it marked 85 years of faith, service, and academic support.
The celebrations began with a groundbreaking ceremony for a new student center, a project valued at 2 billion Uganda shillings at expanding study facilities for students. The Archbishop of Kampala, His Grace Paul Semogerere, in a homily praised the community's enduring spiritual and educational impact.
So our presence as Catholics in this university is a source of hope for the church, but also a challenge, an invitation to do more, to have greater impact in society and the church. This is always more to do, especially in the area of witnessing. At times we consider our faith a strictly private matter and thus refrain from explicitly bearing witness to our faith. Sometimes in settings like universities, there is also a challenge of falling prey to attractive but strange doctrines which are contrary to the church teaching.
The event drew high-profile dignitaries, including the Vice President, Her Excellency Jessica Lupo, who served as a chief guest.
Your Grace, I have already said, the relationship between government and the church and the Catholic Church will remain very harmonious. Your Grace, His Excellency the President, has extended to the project 30 million Uganda shillings. In addition to that, he asked me to return with a full profile of the project with the bills of quantities attached, so that he can continue working with us the journey until the project is completed. To the power of faith lived in the community. As we mark this milestone, we are reminded of the words of St. Augustine. You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our hearts are restless until they rest in you. These words have found living expression here for 85 years. To the students present, this chapel is your inheritance. May you not only pass through it, but be shaped by it. May you allow this place to form your conscience, deepen your compassion, and strengthen your commitment to serve humanity.
The Vice Chancellor, Professor Barnabas Nawanga, commended the initiative, which will enhance student life.
I would like to pledge that the Makerere University management will provide all the possible support to the success of this extension project.
The celebration is concluded with a fundraising drive at Freedom Square to support the center's construction. Robert Katamba and Sandro Kahunde reporting for UBC News.
Mount St. Mary's College Namagunga has hosted the 2026 annual academic fair, where students showcased research and hands-on projects in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. This year's exhibition highlights the school's commitment to produce learners who can adapt to a changing world. Let's take a look.
The day at Namagunga was intense with intellectual energy. The learners were interpreting theory into tangible solutions. The exhibition floor was divided into various hubs. In the science wing, students demonstrated malaria prevention models and eco-friendly plastic waste management systems for urban sanitation.
Due to the increasing misuse of mosquito nets, we decided to make a project of a mosquito repellent using eucalyptus leaves. So eucalyptus leaves are steamed using like the vapor, and then they have volatile oil which rises through this rubber tubing and is condensed and forms hydrosol. So now this hydrosol has a layer of oil on top, and this is our mosquito repellent.
Generally, when we use this type of project, it is waterproof. It will not allow water to pass through, hence making it more comfortable to live inside here. This project is also very durable, and that means people who use grass-thatched houses, if they adapt to this method, they will not have to replace the thatches over and over again.
The Humanities Department tackled deep-seated social issues. Extensive research was presented on the impact of drug abuse in Uganda, with students proposing peer-to-peer intervention strategies.
We are presenting a project about biodegradable plastics. The reason that's why we are bringing out our project is due to the high rate of ignorance among people in our country, Uganda, about the fact that we have an alternative. Instead of using these polythene bags known as caveras, we can make alternatives known as biodegradable plastics. This is an extract that we made that are made of natural polymers.
So what this project is about is to curb the ignorance about drug abuse in Uganda, and the impact is that we are going to reach people who find it hard to understand what drug abuse is about through our different posters and short but very meaningful and impactful messages.
From robotics to social policy, the 2026 fair proves that Namagunga is nurturing problem solvers.
They have exhibited many things, just as you have seen, and we encourage them to do so. They innovate their own projects, and these projects must be problem-solving projects. They look at a problem in society or a challenge, and they come up with the solutions, just the way you have seen. The projects, the girls had to come up with their own projects, helped by their teachers in the different departments. The school has supported them financially.
This year we have different sets of projects. So every year we have different sets of projects. And the projects, I think, are very important, because if we look at the world, where the world is going, without innovations, then we are going to be left behind. That's why you find countless number of Ugandans would desire to live in outside countries because of the innovations in those countries. They have gone ahead. So for us to catch up with the other parts of the world, then we must go innovative.
Advocates for children with autism are calling for greater focus on talent development to tap into the children's abilities. The call was made during a dialogue organized by Save the Children with Autism Uganda, aimed at promoting ways to nurture talent among children with autism. Let's take a look.
Experts say, while many children face challenges in mainstream education, they often possess unique skills that can be developed with the right support.
We had a workshop today, a training workshop, where we train parents and caregivers about autism. My message is calling upon parents out there. These children are capable of doing a lot of things.
Children with autism often have hidden talents, and more so talents in special areas, for example in IT, innovation, arts and the crafts. Because they have some special qualities about children with autism, that we as parents, caregivers, teachers, that we should really take time, love, understand these children, support them so that we can uncover these hidden talents.
Officials are now urging the government to support organizations working with children with autism, including offering tax exemptions.
And for government, we really are calling upon you to really support these organizations that are supporting children with special needs, to provide support to them. For example, giving them tax exemptions in the areas that they are supporting, so that they can reach more children in the society, and we can support, love, and continue to grow these children so that then they can continue to support us as well.
Parents say such support programs are already making a difference.
We came here when we had challenges, but the 4 months we've been here, we've seen tremendous improvement in mostly all areas.
Despite ongoing challenges, awareness about autism is slowly improving in Uganda. I'm Bantu Machabe Semambo, Enriga Nahomoza, reporting for UBC.
Organizations working to rehabilitate children living on Ugandan streets seem to be making progress in shaping them into responsible citizens. The China-Uganda Women Association has partnered with the Africa Ewaka project to improve the lives of these children. Let's take a look.
Since 2023, the Africa Ewaka project has provided shelter, free education and essential support services to transform the lives of street children. The executive director, Gilbert Olinga, says they empower street children with practical skills to utilize available resources in building sustainable livelihoods.
And all this is intended to provide a better environment for our children. Access to water, be able to access education, and be able to sleep without discomfort. So we are so grateful that these donations came in timely at a time that we really needed them. I remember when we first came in here, there were quite a lot of mosquitoes in this place. And fighting malaria is one of our objectives.
The China-Uganda Women Association donated a solar-powered borehole, 100 blankets, 66 mosquito nets, and 20 desks to support the initiative. The association's president, Tong Fang, commended Ugandans for supporting vulnerable children and women.
Actively improve the children's learning and living condition. When we see the children sitting upright at the brand new desk and chairs, concentrating on the reading and studying, and when the clean well water gushes out.
Meanwhile, Fan Shu-cheng from the Chinese embassy in Uganda hailed the growing cooperation between China and Uganda in different sectors.
When China and Uganda, we have a traditional brotherhood and very good relationship since the independence of Uganda more than 60 years ago. I'm especially very happy to see children here smiling, dancing, singing, and also playing acrobatic. It is really a huge surprise to us to see children singing Chinese songs.
Mike Bakabulindi compiled this report.
When you don't use Momo, you get insulted by strangers. Save yourself from insults. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Chini Kaji, and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential.
With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. In business, security and coffee processors in Mitoma district have launched a joint crackdown to improve coffee quality and stop rising thefts. The operation targets both farm and processing levels, aiming to boost Uganda's coffee standards on the international market. Let's have a look.
Uganda remains Africa's top coffee exporter, contributing about 15% of export earnings and supporting over 1.7 million households. However, in Mitoma, the crop has increasingly become a security concern due to its high market value. Officials say thieves are harvesting coffee at night and selling it cheaply to brokers, denying farmers fair returns.
We have had enough complaints from within local people. But the reason why there is increase in theft, one is like what I have said about the prices. Now somebody just pours 2 cups of raw coffee and gets 2,000 to go and drink.
Farmers report losing large quantities of coffee, with some stolen produce sold for as low as 5,000 shillings per kilogram. Security teams have now intensified operations to dismantle the theft network and restore order.
Sometimes they break off coffee branches and the farmer loses double. So we are going to arrest you, and if we get you, the regulation is that you don't get police bond. We take you direct to courts of law to deal with this, so that we can protect both quality, but also we protect the farmer.
Authorities also warned against poor practices such as harvesting unripe beans and drying coffee on bare ground, which lowers quality.
Farmers do not adhere to good harvest and post-harvest handling practices. They are harvesting coffee maybe which is not purely ripe. And in addition to that, they also do not dry it on taplings or raised beds.
If we find you harvesting green coffees, we are going to arrest you. If we find you drying coffee on the ground, we are also going to arrest you.
Processors are urging farmers to adopt proper drying methods to meet international standards.
Marketing about coffee is quality. And the buyer in the market looks at mostly 3 things. And number 1 is quality of the coffee. It must be consistent. That quality must be very good. It must be consistent. If you start with good quality, you must keep the good quality. It must also be supplied timely. The buyers need those 3 aspects of the coffee that we actually produce. So we look at quality, but are you able to actually consistently supply that quality? And if you are able to consistently supply it, are you able to timely also ship it? These are the 3 aspects that the market wants.
Farmers are calling for government support, including subsidized fertilizers to boost production and protect their livelihoods.
New Life Present and Church, Mombasa, Kenya, welcomes you to a conference of summoning the Holy Spirit, breaking certain bonds and moving in the Lord, slated 25th, 26th April 2026 at Mbali's grounds. Come receive and witness miraculous powers of the Lord as you meet his servant, Pastor Ezekiel, a man of prophecies.
Jesus! Out!
New Steps, New Year, begins with a decision to attend a mega conference slated 25th, 26th April 2026 and tap into the powers of the Almighty, emboldened by the word of deliverance from Pastor Ezekiel. Are they dark spirits, witchcraft, dark altars endangering your soul? Come, so Jesus sets you free, from 25th, 26th April 2026, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, call 0776 270 010 or 0701 277 547.
And in the world of sports, Uganda Gymnastics Federation has launched a gymnastics club at Luzira Prison and handed over equipment to support training and talent development. The equipment, worth $12,700 US was donated by the Frederick Phillips Foundation of Michigan, United States through the Uganda Gymnastics Federation.
The launch was officiated by Federation President Harriet Aya at Luzira Prison.
On behalf of the Uganda Gymnastics Federation, we are very happy for this partnership today with the Uganda prisons, that we have officially received equipment. We first of all want to start by thanking the Commissioner General for the opportunity of partnering together with the Uganda prisons and the Gymnastics Federation. We thank the Sports Officer Prisons, Mr. Jimmy, for this opportunity that we successfully received equipment.
She urged prison authorities to open the program to outside athletes so more people can benefit from the equipment and training opportunities. Prisons authorities welcomed the initiative, saying it will help nurture talent both inside and outside the prison system.
To receive such wonderful equipment, these are original equipment, by the way, professional in nature, all the way from China, given by our friends who support gymnastics from the America through our gymnastics federation. I also want to thank once again, the Commissioner General of Prisons with the top management of Uganda Prison Service for creating this enabling environment to allow us to partner with the federations like Gymnastics Federation to boost the game of gymnastics in Uganda.
The initiative aims to promote sports development and talent identification within correctional facilities.
Stakeholders in the Uganda Rowing Federation are seeking a way to remedy the governance situation that will clear the way for compliance with the National Council of Sports recommendations to meet requirements of new law. Members also call for an urgent need for a clear electoral roadmap and elections. The term for the current executive committee expired last year and is currently fragmented, with some members against the transition. It's the reason members from clubs including Nalubale, Express, Cranes, Lake, Shores, Defenders and Wellness met at the Uganda Manufacturers Association showgrounds to forge a way forward.
We are concerned members of clubs of rowing. We have called this press conference because the current situation in our federation has become untenable. The current executive of Uganda Rowing Federation was elected in 2021, March. As we stand now, we have overstayed beyond our mandates because by last year, in March, we should have had an annual general meeting to elect the new executives. As we stand now, there are two different groups within the Rowing Federation. The struggle for power.
And with that, we've come to the end of our 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Do join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark. Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. From the team behind the scenes, allow us to say see you at 10.
UBC